Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, well, let me first of all thank for our organizers for inviting me and arranging the conference. The topic we are here to discuss is of ultimate importance, and in order to start my small intervention, I would rather speak about the context of the topic we are discussing here, the context of a tribunal. Russians often complain that West did not listen to Russia, that Russia needs to be understood and heard. And here, actually, I tend to agree with them. We need to understand Russia and hear it, and we need to understand Putin as an ultimate and single decision maker in Russia. So Putin is obsessed with the history. Not a history we understand in his weird interpretation of a history, but still it's a history. And he compares himself to Russian tsars of 18th, 19th, 17th centuries. And those guys, those tsars, are his role models. He compares his achievements to theirs, and historically, in those centuries, it was usual behavior to attack a country, to take territory, to grab territory, to expand borders, and at a certain point have peace negotiations where maps are redrawn, borders are shifted, and new governments or new kings are imposed on certain territories. So that is his current modus operandi. He understands that this model worked for centuries and it needs to be continued. Of course, our understanding is completely different. We understand that current rule-based order is different. You couldn't just move a border to a certain point when you are satisfied. You cannot attack a country and grab a territory. Now it's illegal actions, it's aggression, internationally recognized crime. And we need to send a message to explain, not only Russia, but other countries as well, that rules have changed. And if civilized nations will limit themselves to only military response, like to fight a war, Russia launched a war. Okay, let's defend Ukraine, let's provide military support, etc. This will prove that 18th, 19th, 17th centuries are here and back. Those rules where the strongest party wins and takes everything what is needed are back. And Putin is right. To prove him wrong, we need to show that rules are different, that international law fights back, and legal actions matter, really matter. And with that purpose in mind, Ukraine calls for comprehensive mechanism of responsibility. Part of it, like getting reparations from Russian Federation, is already in progress. So international organization, Register for Damages was created, and we really work with that organization in order to make the Register for Damages operational this spring, to at least start gathering information on the damages caused by the Russian aggression, at least to certain categories of damages. We are negotiating with our partners on the creation of compensation commission, which will deal with claims for compensation and which will be tasked to provide awards, like amounts of compensation to be paid to victims, not only natural persons, but legal entities, municipalities, and the state. And also we are working really hard on lifting sovereign immunity of Russian Federation over assets of the Russian Central Bank, which is a core initiative which will provide money to compensation fund and actually for payments of reparations. This is a more economic or financial part of the comprehensive mechanism. What we are talking right now is another dimension, criminal one. And of course, prosecution in Ukraine, in other jurisdictions, international organizations working hard on criminal dimension of responsibility are doing their job really well. But we all understand that those who are really decision makers are still protected from the reach of international justice. We really celebrated and really we're quite happy with the arrest warrant of ICC over Putin, but that arrest warrant covers, and that case investigation covers only a small part of crimes committed by Russian top-level officials. And we need to see a bigger picture, a picture which reflects the actual changes in the system of international law, where attack and aggression over territory of other countries is considered to be a crime. And for that purpose, we need a tribunal. We had quite long months and years of discussions. Not years, but soon it's going to be years. And I hope that the result of those discussions would be a real tribunal created, a tribunal focused on top-level Russian officials, and the message from international community would be sent. We are no longer in 18th, 19th centuries. We are now in the 21st century, where act of aggression is punishable, and there is a response from international community. Thank you, and looking forward to hearing your views and discussions.